Oh, yeah? What's he doing? Is he an early riser? Is he an early riser? She would be now. He's in good shape. Did he ever tell you about the time he was on
And this is all everything.
Irene Harris come out there and she seen him and she grabbed that letter and shook it like this and he thought he died. Could you imagine? 40-foot year Joker.
There's 3 years worth of money there.
Right, I know.
And there's more stuff.
Right.
And so she had all the information that I wasn't made aware of. So she knew. You know, it took us 4 minutes for us to get there. And the presentation should clear that up.
She thought she was in nursing. She was out. She just got out to get a good school night with her. They all take a church of 4 of us brothers. This would actually have twice. She got it. They had a sale. She said, oh, I like that. She ordered this again, so I've on you. She's tapped and it's going to be honest.
I appreciate that. Seriously. And I don't see
You're behind it. Well, that's better than not. They can say it's a heavy lift.
I knew
You couldn't tell me where it says, so what it's all about.
Yeah, they're back to back on.
Sold these farms lately? No, it's acquired some. Acquired some, so good for you. You got five farms now? You got five farms now? I don't care if you do it or if you don't. You can write them a lot. I've heard you ask funny things, but they hear better.
All right, good evening. Is that working? Yep. All right, good evening. I've got 7 o'clock. I'll go ahead and call this Shelby County Board meeting of January 9th of 2025 to order. Let's start with a pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bow your heads with me, please. Dear Lord, we come to you tonight in the hopes of continuing to heal our community, to make the best decisions that we can with the information that we are presented at the time. We ask that you give us a little bit of grace when we make mistakes, because it's going to happen, and I pray that we can all continue to walk forward as a community. Amen. All right, item 3, discussion vote to approve the minutes from the December 12th, 2020. I'm sorry. All right, I want to get ahead of myself here. We'll do roll call first, please.
Teresa Banks here. Tim Brown. Carol Cole here. Julie Edwards. Chrissy Grant here. Jeff Gregg
Here.
Clay Hardy here. Keith McCormick
Here.
Christine Matlock here. Tad Mayhall
Here.
Tim Morse
Here.
Gene Price
Here.
Austin Pritchard
Here.
Sonny Ross
Here.
Larry Seifert
Here.
Don Tate
Here.
Christy Walford here. Brent Wallace
Here.
Chad Yanis.
Here.
We have it down.
All right, thank you. As I was saying, we'll discuss and vote to approve the minutes from the December 12th, 2024 regular meeting. If I could have a motion for the minutes, please. All right, Ms. Cole, have a second. Ms. Matlock, any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Discuss and vote to approve the minutes from the December 19th, 2024 special meeting. Motion, please. Ms. Matlock, second. Gene Price, thank you. Sorry. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Item 4, public body comment. Public body comment. Yes,
You
sir.
guys, I think, are doing a really great job, Dad. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, Jay. Public body comment. Yes, ma'am.
I'm here this evening not only as a taxpayer and constituent of Shelby County, but also as the chairperson of the Shelby County Democratic Party. It is my hope to explain to the citizens of our county, within the limited time frame I am given, how the replacement of board seats that have been vacated through resignations are filled. To the best of my knowledge, based on Illinois statute for township counties, the chairman of a political party may suggest replacements for vacated county board seats, but that does not require the board chairman to bring those suggested nominees to the full board. It is at the board chairman's discretion. The only legal requirement, and I'm not even sure that that's right, but to the best of my knowledge, the only legal requirement replacing a vacated board seat is that the nominee must be of the same political party as the member who resigned. In the recent past, we have seen that all the nominations made by the Republican Party chairman were accepted by previous board chair Orman. That was his decision to do so. We are under new management now, and our new chairman chooses to follow the statute, not simply accept and adopt nominees made by the GOP. As a taxpayer, it is refreshing to see the chairman doing what is best for the county, not following the agenda of one individual or a group of government watchdogs. Thank you.
Thank you. Public body comment. Public body comment. Public body comment. Okay. Moving on to item 5, it's my understanding that the appointee is not available, so we'll move on to number 6. Discuss and vote to approve the appointment of Judy Wood to County Board District number 2. Have a motion. Ms. Cole, and a second. Ms. Matlock. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Do you want to do this one individually or together?
Whatever you want.
We'll do them together. That's all right. All right, item 7, discuss and vote to approve the appointment of Tricia Miller to County Board District number 7. I have a motion. Mr. Morris, second. Mr. Pritchard, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, could I get a hand raise? Okay. Hey, Judy, Tricia, you want to come forward? I'll support you.
Motion carried. Finish it off, I guess. Yep, thank you.
Okay, I'll just have you both raise your right hands and repeat after me, please. I state your name.
I, Tricia Wood,
Having been appointed
having been appointed
to the office of Shelby County Board District
to the office of Shelby County Board District 7
in the county of Shelby in the state of Illinois,
in the county of Shelby in the state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Shelby County Board District
of Shelby County Board District 7
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Okay. All right, on to item 8. Yolanda Nation and Mila Bond to give us a presentation from 4-H. Tell you what, have you got the right over here? Tip this up to your direction, and then you're good to go. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Lila Bonnie, and I'm a 10-year 4-H member from Shelby County. I love 4-H because it's a great way to teach youth about community involvement, leadership, communication, and self-growth. Through 4-H, I've had amazing opportunities to teach a national workshop in Washington, D.C., teach my high school educators about brain development, and assist with food insecurity for those around me. I joined 4-H as a quiet 8-year-old girl who didn't quite feel like she belonged. Really, I just wanted a pet bunny, and that was the only way to convince my parents. The thought of giving the required talk at a meeting would send fear running through me. My social circle really only contained one good friend, and I lacked confidence in myself. Shortly after joining, my club elected me as the historian, and I took this role very seriously. I began to push myself to interact with the other members and try new activities. A few years later, I was invited to join my county federation. At first, I said no. However, a current member personally asked me to give it a chance, and the fact that someone had personally reached out to me meant the world, and I gave it a shot. My 4-H program coordinator slowly gave me more opportunities. I began to teach workshops, I planned activities, I spoke to various groups. Overall, I became an entirely different kid. And last year, I wanted to push beyond my county level. I got the opportunity to become an Illinois 4-H Healthy Living Ambassador. With this, I was able to teach a first aid station at a workshop right here in Shelby County. The kids all got to pair up, and one person had a fake wound, and the other person got to bandage them up. And I really do think they learned something, even if by the end of it they were just turning their friends into Halloween mummies. They all got to assemble first aid kits to take home. And additionally, I ran a booth at the state fair this year, including drunk goggles, so kids got to see the effect that different substances would have on the way that they view the world and the ability that they have to function. And it led to a lot of sideways walks and laughs, but I think it opened their eyes, being able to actually experience it, and rather just than being told. Additionally, I was able to lead a workshop based on brain development for numerous audiences, including my high school teachers, 4-H youth at a statewide leadership conference, 4-Hers around the nation for a conference in Washington, D.C., and after next Monday, my county 4-H leaders. The conference in Washington, D.C. that I just mentioned leading a workshop at was called Ignite by 4-H. I was there for a week with around 20 other delegates from Illinois, but in total there were about 1,200 people there. And they were from around the nation, including Alaska, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. I attended as part of the Healthy Living track, but they also have things for you to explore in agri-science, STEM, and they're introducing a new one this year for community activism. Delegates get to hear from big-name speakers and attend all sorts of workshops, both within their track and just some fun random things to explore. One of my personal favorite activities in D.C. included a night tour of all the monuments. My personal favorite was the Korean War Memorial because of the way that the soldiers were lit up at night. I thought that was really neat. I also got to tour the National Museum of Health and Medicine, as well as the National Smithsonian Museum of Natural History. And then back at the conference, I enjoyed a chaotic pin trade with the other delegates, a salsa making competition, which I still believe my group should have won, and a dance celebration. I made so many new friends, both with people from Illinois and from across the nation, in places like Tennessee, Arkansas, and Alaska. I was so scared for that trip, especially since it was my first time ever flying, and I didn't know anyone, but it was so worth it. Additionally, I was able to spend a week in June at the Illini Summer Academies. Unfortunately, the track that I chose to explore was canceled last minute, and I had to pick an alternative. I chose sustainability. And while it wasn't what I was expecting, I came home with lots of knowledge about solar panels, non-traditional farming methods, and animal tracking. But I also learned how some of those energy methods are not quite ready for the growing population. And I appreciated how they kept it real and didn't try to sell me anything. I also got to reunite with a few of my fellow Ignite delegates from DC, which was really special. My final adventure that I'm going to talk to you about was my most recent. In early December, I returned from National 4-H Congress in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was selected as one of 10 high school 4-Hers in Illinois to attend this event. We spent a week doing leadership-focused activities to bring home to our communities, as well as some fun experiences. For example, I got to take part in an evening of culture at the Atlanta History Center, including bluegrass music, African dance, and Victorian style. Back at the conference itself, we experienced a session of speed meeting and a dinner where delegates from Hawaii and Puerto Rico taught us dances, and we had a gala and so many more activities. The Illinois delegation grew really close, and those of us that are not on the youth leadership team are hoping to join so that we can work together for various activities throughout this year. In addition to building connections and growing as a leader, I got to serve others in this experience. I spent a morning serving in an elementary school while I interacted with the students working on their spelling. This confirmed for me how much I like working with and teaching younger kids. And because of 4-H's influence on me, I plan on attending college in the fall of 2025 to pursue a career as a speech-language pathologist. I know that 4-H has prepared me for my life in the real world. 4-H has helped me find a place where I belong. I feel more confident, and I've gotten really involved in my county and my state through various activities. People in the community know me as a reliable leader, not a scared kid who stands in the back, and I owe that all to 4-H. It's such an important program, and I hope you see how it can open a world of opportunities for kids like me. Thank you for all of your support to make Shelby County 4-H what it is today, and thank you for allowing me to come and speak to you about my 4-H experiences in the last year. Thanks.
I'm Yolanda Nation, and I am the 4-H program coordinator for Shelby County. I've been doing this for 14 years, but I've been around 4-H since I was 8. I joined and I never left. I became a leader when I was 18, and I'm still going strong. So I've got a little handout here I'm going to pass out to board members, but we want you to know that Shelby County 4-H is a very thriving program in our community. We had 422 members last year, which was 5th in the entire state of Illinois. So awesome job to all of our club leaders and our 4-H members out recruiting their friends and family. A couple of highlights from our past year. We had one of the biggest fairs we've had in 20 plus years. We had kids running all over the fairgrounds and a very busy 3 days. We also brought back, if anybody's in old time 4-H, we brought back the tractor driving contest this past year, and we added lawnmower driving for our younger kids. So we had 30 kids compete with that. We also brought in a new clover camp, which is for our clover buds. So we had 15 kids, and we had them from 9 to 1 on the rainiest day in June. So we were contained into the senior center, but had a great day. So lots of great things. We just wanted to share some of the numbers and some of the impacts. We're also in the schools. We reached over 250 students last year. So we just wanted to say thank you and let you know that we're out doing a lot of stuff, and we're back up to 390 kids already this year. So I got to find like 35 more kids so we can meet our goals. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you both. And if there's a testament to gaining confidence and stepping up in public to speak, I suppose this was the biggest testament. You did a great job, so thank you for that. All right, we'll move on to item 9. Pick order David Harris to give us an update on where we've been for the last month.
I had a meeting today with the county clerk. I submitted a report, and I think the county clerk passed out a report to each and every one of you. I hope you guys got that report. It should state what's been going on in the county since I kind of took over the 19th. I want to let you folks know I'm happy to serve you. I'm happy to help you in any way I can. And I'm going to be here for you no matter what. I'll be here for you. I appreciate Tad giving me a call and asking me to step up and do this for you. It's been a pleasure, but it's been a busy one. The office of the coroner, I don't think any of you have any idea how much work goes into this office. It's day and night, phone calls, day and night, hospice calls, hospital calls, on-scene calls. It's something all the time. And I know my deputy, Richard Moon, wants to be your coroner, and I would highly recommend him for this job if you consider him. He's worked for me for 4 years. He's been on 2 of the calls here in Shelby County for me, so he's handled those calls excellently. So once again, folks, thank you for allowing me to serve the citizens of Shelby County, and if there's anything that you need, no matter what it is, call me. I'd be happy to help you.
Thank you. I want to thank you again. I've said it before, I want to do it again. For not only stepping up, but for the regular communication with myself and the sheriff, and for everything that you've done. You provided us an extra service that is greatly appreciated. I also appreciate the discussion we had, I don't know, 2.5 weeks ago. I think it was the Friday after Christmas. And, you know, we spent a good hour and a half together. I learned a lot, not only about the role, the responsibilities, but also as you as a person. You know, the compassion definitely comes through. And out of some of the things that we talked about, one of the things that stand out the most is just your passion and your bell ringing for somebody who has the heart and desire to serve the people and to be compassionate in what is likely the most difficult situations of folks' lives. So I do appreciate everything that you've done to include the education and service for us. So thank you, sir. I appreciate that. All right, item 10, discussion and vote to approve the appointment of Beth DePole as Shelby County Coroner. Do I have a motion on this item? Ms. Matlock in the back, Ms. Cole's the second. Any discussion?
Yes. Mr. Chairman, contrary to what we just heard in public body comment, I'm in the understanding that it's the Republican committee chairman who actually selects the person to be the appointee. He submitted a name today, and it's on file with the county clerk, and it's his responsibility to name that person.
You want to cite that responsibility?
Do I want to cite it?
Sure. You have to get a citation that says that it's responsibility of the party chair to make that appointment.
I talked to a coroner, and he told me that he's studied this long and hard, and that's what he was telling me.
So the party has the responsibility to appoint coroners or all elected positions in a county.
The coroner was a Republican, and the committee chairman is the one who's doing the selecting, from what I'm told. Supposed to be.
Right, I'm asking you for a citation. So it goes different to the law.
I can't give you a citation, but I do know that if we move ahead with this, we are going to get into a lawsuit.
Did somebody say anything to us?
That's what I was just told.
Okay.
I think we should either table this or at least go into closed session with the council and talk about this.
All right, so I'll just go past 24 hours if you like, and go past 30 days if you like as well, just as to what's taking place. You're right. Not even 24 hours ago, the Central Committee sent me a recommendation well after the agenda had been set. That's the first communication that I've had from the Central Committee since December 19th. In the last conversation, December 19th, which was our last special board meeting, the update was made to the Central Committee chair on where we stood in the process and what's taking place. You received an email today where I detailed that at length. And since then, I've heard nothing with recommendations. And so with the responsibility of finding people to put in these positions, right, the ultimate responsibility, according to statute, is the county board chair with consent and advice of the county board. And so in absence of recommendations from this chair, I had very few options on where to go with up to this point.
I thought they had 60 days. Is that not correct?
We do have 60 days to make an appointment. But the last communication that we had on December 19th, and the candidate that was at the time possibly the one to be appointed even that night was not the candidate that's being recommended now, and that came from the Central Committee. Right now, it was all verbal, but the endorsement at the time was somebody completely different.
Okay. I'm just telling you. They said that we could have a lawsuit. I don't know. I talked to somebody that knows a great deal about it.
I should be a lawyer.
Okay.
You're listening to the wrong people.
Okay.
Can everybody engage in this conversation? Or just one of
You
us?
guys, you?
Yeah, two people engaged. Well, you
can leave.
You got somebody else engaged in the same
I'll make a
conversation.
motion to remove Mr. Brown from the board meeting. Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Opposed?
Any opposed?
Aye.
Raise your hand.
You let Jake stay, and he was engaged in a conversation.
And he stifled himself pretty quickly. He did not.
No, he didn't.
I know this guy's family were friends of mine.
See, there he goes again.
Mr.
There he goes again.
Cole.
I'm glad to leave. That's fine. You'll hear from it later.
Okay.
You've got to be fair across the board. Remember that. Go for it.
Okay. As I recall, at our
December 19th meeting, we were told that we failed to set the salary for the coroner, and as far as I know, we haven't done that since. How are we going to pay Ms. Diebold if, in fact, her appointment is approved?
So in conversation, which took place last month with the state's attorney, and then with her opinion at this point, you want to speak to it? You just want me to? In absence of setting the compensation, which should have been done in the spring, the compensation continues on the previous rate.
Okay.
Does that answer that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I had some of the same similar concerns as to training, certification, qualification for Ms. DeBolt. But when you understand what the certification and qualification would be for her to run for this office, it would appear that she meets all those qualifications. I have not personally spoke to Ms. DeBolt since seeing her name appear on this agenda. However, I have spoke to other board members, and I know for a fact that numerous board members have talked to her. No one was met with any resistance or hesitation, and every board member that I've spoke to has assured me that this, in fact, is I'll use the word, a perfect fit for the needs of Shelby County at this time. So I would urge a yes vote, and if I may, I would like to call the vote.
All right.
That's fine.
Today, I took some time and I called Ms. DeBolt and had a conversation with her. I was only planning on spending 2 or 3 minutes just to kind of see her personality. We were 15, 20 minutes into the conversation. She meets the qualifications that she could run for this office and hold this elected office. So she's good on the appointment. I think her demeanor, her compassion, her overall general care. She is a very concerned person. She's very caring. She, I think, will fill a set of shoes that are huge to fill. It's going to take time. Everybody, whenever you get hired in a position for the first time, there's a learning curve. I think she has the abilities. She will succeed in this county, and I think she will make a phenomenal fit for the folks of Shelby County. So I would second Mr. Ross's motion to encourage a yes vote.
I don't even know, I wouldn't know Ms. DeBolt right now. I don't know who she is. She's might be very well qualified, but I do know Richard Moon ran for the office, and he's already been working, already doing the job, it sounds like, and stuff. So I'm not sure why we're jumping over him to bring somebody else up that didn't run for the office to begin with, and I don't know anything about the qualifications or nothing, but if Richard's been doing it, it's obvious that he's got the qualifications and stuff to do it. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Sure. Nothing was jumped over, and nobody was jumped over.
Pardon me?
I said nobody was jumped over. The central committee hasn't communicated with me on not only this position but the board positions. And there have been a handful of calls with myself and the chair of the central committee, and no recommendations on any level have been discussed or presented until 8:40 last night.
Thank you for communicating all the information regarding the Central Committee. Mr. Moon has lots of experience. I'm curious, did he reach out to you at any point?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Well, he lost the election by 1,000 votes.
Mr. Chairman, you ignored my recommendation to call the
The
vote,
vote's been called.
and we are discussing items that are not on the agenda. I request that we vote on item 10, please.
All right. The vote's been called. All those in favor of the appointment of Beth Bolt to Shelby County Coroner, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion passes.
Raise your right hand, please. Repeat after me, please. I state your name,
I, Elizabeth People,
having been appointed
have been appointed
to the office of Shelby County Coroner
to the office of Shelby County Coroner
in the County of Shelby,
in the County of Shelby,
in the state of Illinois,
in the state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
the office of
the office of
Shelby County Coroner
Shelby County Coroner
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Okay, congratulations. Will you sign for me right there?
All right, on item 11, presentation from a representative from the Illinois Funds Investment.
Try to get the right angle.
Turning point, it's all you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Erin Sloan. I am with the Illinois State Treasurer's Office. I am Deputy Director of Outreach for Illinois Funds and ePay program.
I am Denise McClung, and I am the Deputy Director of Operations for Illinois Funds and ePay.
So many people are aware of some of the programs that the Illinois Treasurer's Office offers. I'm sure you know about iCash, the Unclaimed Property Program. You might also know about the 529, the College Savings Program for college and vocational training. But Denise and I are deputy directors of a department that only serves local governments and state agencies. So we offer public treasury management products to local governments and state agencies that cover investments, payments, and then we also provide free cybersecurity training for those who are interested, be it for the basic of front desk staff to someone who is more of your IT guy or gal. The Illinois Funds program this year will mark its 50th year. So right now we manage about $21 billion on behalf of local governments, north to south, east to west, so around the state. We have some that have $200 million plus with us. We have some that have $10,000 with us. We provide the economies of scale that they are able to invest in products that might not have been available if you were to do it on your own. So we have approximately 1,500 participants around the state that are participating. This is a AAA investment grade product, so it's the highest rating that the bond markets offer. We have three main principles that we follow. One is to maintain the safety of principal. You put $1 in, we want to make sure that you're able to get $1 out. We also it's paramount that we also provide liquidity. Unlike some of your products that you would see, like certificates of deposit, we do not have any kind of gates or redemptions. So if you want to get your money tomorrow, say you have $1 million with the state treasurer's office. If you were to put in a request to Denise's team before 11 a.m., those monies would be deposited into the county's accounts that day. If it's any time afterwards, it would be the next day. There's no fee, there's no limit, there's no minimum deposit whatsoever. But then the third leg of our stool is that we offer a competitive rate. We are what you call, it's called a local government investment pool, similar to a money market, but the difference is only governments that are with the state of Illinois or public agencies have the ability to invest. So that's school districts, counties, townships, drainage districts,
Road and bridge.
Public parks and rec, you name it. Health departments, they invest with us. But we have outperformed all of our competitors as well as your local bank products. So if, for instance, and of course, past performance is not indicative of future performance. But if you were to say, let's just take your ARPA funds that you had at $1.4 million, and that was invested with us over the last 2 years, you would have had interest income of over $400,000. Given the national money market rates, it would be somewhere in the neighborhood of, you would have gotten like $40,000. So there is some competitive advantages for that. Right now, the rate for the Illinois funds is 4.539%, and we are in a falling interest rate environment where you hear about the Feds are cutting rates. We are still outperforming everyone else that we compete with, and we take great pride in that. Everybody that manages the fund for us are state employees. Denise and I don't make a dollar more if $1 million is in the pool or $21 million. This is strictly a public service. Full disclosure, I was an investment banker with firms in Chicago and New York for about 15 years, and I joke with Denise that I'm doing my penance, and I'm trying to earn my wings into heaven. So I'm really excited to be able to come down to places like Shelby County. We are all over the state. Usually we don't travel very much in the wintertime. We do a lot of stuff virtually, so you guys are special. Because we had a special request at our local officials day. But we do this, again, as a service to make sure that our local governments are able to be as efficient and help as much as possible. In the last year, the Illinois Funds was able to earn over $1 billion in interest income for our participants. That's $1 billion fewer dollars that had to be taxed to our residents of Illinois. So it's not something that we take lightly, and we have very stringent investment policies to manage that. But the Illinois Funds is a complement to your local banks. We do not see ourselves as a replacement, but a complement. Because we have the ability to earn higher interest income, oftentimes communities will have their monies in the funds, and as they need it, be it for payroll, to pay for a road project, to build a school, a wing of a school, then those funds are drawn out as needed so they can continue to earn funds. Most of our participants, they have the deposits that come from the state comptroller. Your MFT dollars, your sales tax dollars are deposited directly into Illinois Funds accounts, so it can earn interest income. It is earned, interest is earned daily, and it's paid out monthly. And that's kept on whatever funds are in your account are strictly to your account. The General Assembly has no access to it whatsoever. So that's something, that we have to let you know. You're not in the state of Illinois has no access to it. I can't go in and move money. Only our boss, she has an account for the state of Illinois, but she doesn't have access to anybody else's accounts. It's strictly your funds. We don't have any minimum in fees. You can have as many accounts as you need. to match whatever you have in your bank accounts. But folks use us for a variety of reasons. It could be we want to buy new cars for our sheriff's department. They'll use it as a sinking fund. Some say, well, we have bond payments that are coming up for bonds that are outstanding, and so that money is socked away and it earns income. You've got a project for a construction project that's coming down the pike, or perhaps you're looking for grant funds, but you need to have a local match. Those monies are put in that account and it continues to grow, just like you would have in your own account. But it is one that, even some people have their pension funds in there. But I just wanted to give you an example of a few of your peers that are invested in Illinois funds. We have the County of Cook, and they're not even our largest participant. Sangamon County, Monroe, St. Clair, Kankakee, McLean, Winnebago, Knox County, Fulton County, Kane, Morgan, Jackson County, just to name, McHenry County, just to name a few. And they all use it in a variety of ways. So it's really up to however you would want to use it, but it's something that we take, we're really proud of it, and this is our 50-year anniversary. One of the things that we offer, that we will be offering, are ongoing education webinars, so you can know what our investment plans are, what our advisors are doing. We offer education throughout the year. Like I said, cybersecurity is something for our participants, but then we also invite down for our participants to our local officials day that we host every year at the state fair, that you get to meet the treasurer and other people in our office. If there's any questions that you may have, that we're all readily available. A number of people on the board have my cell phone, and as questions pop up, we're here to serve. And then we have another program, our ePay program, that Denise will talk about quickly, that we also offer.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that we do have, aside from the investment side, we have ePay, which is the ability to accept electronic payments. We, again, are able to utilize that economy of scale in pricing as far as what would be either passed on to the resident as they come to pay a bill, a fine, a license, or whatever the case may be. We are definitely competitive. Our vendor that we utilize currently services businesses like Starbucks, Gap.
Dunkin' Donuts for me, that's
Dunkin'
my
Donuts,
favorite.
and we also have like the University of Illinois system, so U of I, UIC, SIU, or no, not ISU, sorry.
ISU, yeah.
Yep, other big universities like that, so we have that ability, to possibly, benefit the county in that way, and that, of course, is something I could share more information on, electronically or something at another time.
If you've renewed your licenses, your license plate or your driver's license online, or at the Secretary of State, you've used our ePay system. So that's something that we provide with very competitive fees. So that's something that just to help local governments do their business safely and efficiently. And if you have any questions, we're happy to answer.
Who's the processor for the e-payments?
So
Our current contract is with NCR, but actually they were just recently purchased by Global Payments.
Okay.
Are the funds guaranteed like a bank?
It is not guaranteed like a bank. So we have, like I said, $21 billion in the fund. We hold about $3 billion in cash at all times. So if the state of Illinois holds about 50% of the fund. So those funds are readily available, but can be liquidated. They are A-rated and above credits. When you have, the idea of insurance and collateralization in banks, you're also paying for that, right? So what you lose in yield, You lose a lot in yield actually with banks because they're lending your monies out at a higher rate than what they're paying you. But you're actually paying for that insurance as well. The state of Illinois has never broken the buck, which means if you put in $1 and then you want to withdraw it, it's never been less than the original dollar that you've invested. We have actually in the past been willing to, at times we've even waived some of the management fees that pays our salary, which is very nominal, to make sure that our governments have their funds at all times. Yes.
Couple questions. So, are there any funds within our county that might not be eligible to be invested through only funds?
No.
So, like the court system, the circuit clerk, the health department. Of course, there's a WIC fund within the health department that cannot earn interest.
Yep.
But every other fund can earn that 4.5%. You said.
Yeah.
It is now.
Yeah. Yes, it is, and that's per state statute.
And that directly compares to the 4.5%. Last year it was at the max, what, like 5.4?
We were at, last year, we maxed out, I believe it was 5.645%.
But that compares directly to the 0.12 that we could be receiving locally at a local bank.
Correct. What you get on the savings account or even on the CDs, one of the issues you have with certificates of deposit is the idea of liquidity. So your funds are usually locked up for 30 days or 3 months. The higher yield that a bank offers you, the less access you have to your funds. So if you get anything that's above that 0.12%, it is most likely that's of our three-pronged stool. You'll be missing a leg of your stool. That you will not have that liquidity when you are offered any kind of increased yield with a bank. So that's why we work in tandem. Keep your funds until you absolutely need it, and they're transferred over to your local bank for you to pay your bills. But stuff happens, right? The price of road salt has gone through the roof, and if you run out now and you got to go back to the market, what you budgeted might not have been enough. And if those funds are locked up in a CD, you're actually going to have to pay a penalty in order to access your monies.
Other questions?
I will be sure to email you the presentation. I'm used to being paperless, so I'm a little.
There's only these 2 copies because I am not used to being. No, I'm just kidding. I am going to give you at least the one copy.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. If you don't mind. Oh, do you have another question?
I just wanted to, real quick, so I think you probably covered this twice already, but to just confirm, you said 50 years. Has anybody ever lost a buck in 50
No,
years?
sir.
No, sir.
That's your primary objective, right?
That is our primary
The equivalent
objective.
to a money market, your primary objective is the buck rule.
Right.
Because
that is one thing that we track. I'm sorry.
No, go.
That is something that is tracked on every report that goes from my low level down here all the way up to the treasurer on a monthly basis that break the buck and what we need to have and where we need to be to ensure that would never happen. And as she mentioned, I've only seen one time we ever got close, and again, we cut management so that to ensure any participant got $1 for dollar.
Still was able to get $1. And when you look at I think the difference between Illinois and other states that have similar programs, it's about half the states have something similar. They all outsource. And so they're paying additional monies to third parties who it's in their best interest to, have their fees as high as possible. We have the lowest fees in the game, so it's 7 basis points, which is 7/1000th of a percent. So it's pennies compared to the market.
Was that 0809 by chance?
Yes, it was. Everything was upside down in 08 and 09, including my mortgage. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you again.
We're going to head back to Springfield.
All right, drive safely. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
You're in communication with Mr. Kraft, and if he would like to come back in, please say yours.
Thank you.
Listen, if you're in communication with Mr. Kraft, and he would like to come join us, please welcome your back. All right, I'm going to move on to 12 and 13. However, the request was made to switch the order of these, so I'm going to go to 13 first. Discussion vote to approve a request for opioid settlement funds for Shelby County Community Services. Have a motion. Ms. Matlock, a second. Mr. Ross. All right.
Hello. My name is Natalie Inman, and I have been the coordinator of the Substance Abuse Department for Shelby County Community Services for almost 9 years, or for almost 6 years. I've been with the agency itself for almost 9 years. So I was made aware about potential funds that could be available to our program to better treat some of the significant substance abuse issues that we've seen in the county. And the packet that I gave you all, I promise you don't have to read it all, but I didn't know what questions you may have, and there's a lot of legalities and policies associated with the opioid allocation agreement itself, but I promise you don't have to read all that paperwork. So Shelby County Community Services can utilize these funds for multiple reasons. Though it focuses primarily on opiates, it's for co-occurring disorders, and treatment recovery-based information in general. So the funds that are obtained through the Illinois Opioid Allocation Agreement will allow Shelby County Community Services to better treat individuals with opioid use disorders and or co-occurring use disorders. Funds will also be utilized to promote prevention strategies within the community and enhance long-term recovery from opioids, co-occurring substances in Shelby County. So on the packet that I've provided to you, it is a copy of the Illinois Opioid Allocation Agreement. I have a yellow tab on the first page. That's just to point out where it actually goes into the different core strategies. There are 2 schedules associated with the core strategies for these funds, and so that first one is Schedule A. If you flip to the purple tab, those are the ones that I've chosen to focus on. The purple tab includes the treatment of opioid use disorder, as well as recovery and prevention strategies. So essentially, Shelby County Community Services will be able to participate in multiple trainings that will allow our staff to ensure that we're keeping up with the trends associated with substance use, not only in Illinois, but specifically to Shelby County. There are multiple rural county substance abuse courses that we can take that help us figure out how to help people that are struggling in this county. We're very geographically spread out, so of course transportation is an issue. And so I've included that some funds associated with being able to provide transportation to and from our facility, as well as those that may need inpatient treatment, could also be utilized with these funds. As far as supporting people in treatment and recovery, I would like to be able to also take care of people who do not have the ability to cover services. Of course, there are certain situations where a lot of times when they come into treatment, we'll help them find insurance, we'll help them with a payment plan. We have a sliding scale. We have a lot of opportunities, but unfortunately, sometimes people just can't make it work. And the final one that I've got on the bottom is addressing the needs of criminal justice involved persons. I'm a member of the Shelby County Drug Court team as well, and there's a lot of things that go into that process before the person is even released from jail. With additional funds, my agency and our office could go do substance abuse assessments for individuals that have recently been arrested that normally would not be covered by insurance because they're currently incarcerated. That would allow us to try to get help to the individual immediately as opposed to waiting multiple days after, the situation has kind of resolved itself after they sit in jail. Additionally, this would allow us to get paid for the substance abuse assessments for the individuals that are currently in jail. For drug court, I am required to do an assessment, and usually those are things that Shelby County Community Services just has to eat those costs. We are a nonprofit, so money doesn't fly out of your pockets like crazy there. And so a lot of these trainings and educational materials are things that we should have utilized a long time ago, but unfortunately, they're very costly. You'll notice on one of them I included is a life skills packet that includes DVDs, workbooks, and instructor guide, and that's enough to get us through multiple years. So though it may seem costly, the amount of impact that it's going to have on the individual struggling with this disorder is immense. So I've requested a total of $15,561. The original budget summary that I had sent to all of you did have an error. I have corrected that. So at the top, where your copy may have said $397, mine says $297 now, so it's decreased by $100. But it could be amazing for Shelby County Community Services, and I think that it could help the residents in this county a great deal.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes, sir.
I just had one question, and I spoke to Ms. Wade, Ms. Wade has brought up this opioid money numerous times in numerous committees, and I just would like her input on this too. Is this in line with many of the issues that you raised over this?
Both of these service providers are amazing for Shelby County. I support 100% the materials that you're talking about, updating the services they provide to the clients that I work with, and even clients that don't work with me. It would just go a long way to help them. There's $96,000 budgeted this year. You guys set it up like you have. They're asking for, I think, a little, what, $25,000, $26,000.
Yeah.
There's still money coming into that fund that hasn't been touched in years. Sheriff may make some requests, and I don't have the ability to do what they're doing. And I think it's best served seeing it go to the services that they provide. So I'm 100% on board.
I guess I didn't mean to preempt you, I guess. So.
I switched spots because I was nervous. So, hello. My name is Skylar Miller. I'm with a program called ROSC. We stand for Recovery Oriented Systems of Care. We are a grant-funded program, and our lead agency is the Our House in Charleston. I also have a large packet. Do you guys want me to read all of it, or do you just want me to touch on the strategies and give you a little bit about? Okay. So Ross builds collaborations in the community that can connect everyone who can support recovery. So hoping to work with SCCS, work with drug court, and anyone else who comes our way. So we picked 4 of the strategies. One of them was approved use B, support people in treatment and recovery. Funding from the Shelby County opioid settlement would enhance the recovery capital in Shelby County by providing an increased access to recovery literature materials throughout the communities in Shelby County to support people in treatment and recovery. Rural communities, she also touched on, and especially Shelby County, face multiple challenges in providing residents with safe, affordable, and reliable transportation. So on the back, at the very end, we asked for gas gift cards, and then CIPT doesn't do how they used to do it, so we would do like a billing agreement with them to get people rides, and I've talked to Nathan a little bit about that. And then we've already been doing laundry days. We do free laundry days in Moultrie and Shelby because we cover both. These would be allotted to Shelby County only because that's where we're asking for the money. It's been amazing so far doing the laundry days. A lot of people benefit from that, and it's a way to get other resources to them while we're there doing free laundry. Strategy 2, prevent overdose deaths and other harms. We would do a Good Samaritan Law Narcan training. Don't have all it's listed in here, and we already provide free Narcan, so if you ever need any, Heather has my contact information. But a few other things that go with it would be just the education that comes with it, and then resource bags containing educational materials, referral information, treatment, support services. Strategy 3 is address the needs of criminal justice involved persons as well. We would like to enhance and create a relationship with the local jail through the use of settlement funding to most benefit the jail population. An increased availability of resources, education, and outreach expansion would be addressed through distribution of resource bags. Items purchased would include hygiene, organization materials, and resource items to help individuals' overall physical and mental health and to improve the quality of life upon release from custody. And then some of the funds will be used to purchase phones and phone service cards. Providing phones to individuals transitioning out of jail can be a transformative step in supporting their reintegration into society. Phone service cards can provide connection to support networks and access to essential resources such as job applications, housing opportunities, recovery networks, and transportation. And the last one would be, sorry, I don't memorize stuff like other people do. The last one would be strategy 4 prevention program. Youth incentive items, so kids within the schools, motivational wristbands, youth backpacks. We partner with Shelby County Salvation Army for the back to school program or back to school event that they have. We're requesting funds to purchase Walmart gift cards as well to support students with needs not yet identified. These needs can include essential personal care items, including but not limited to hygiene pads, articles of clothing, and basic grooming tools that are not already included in the hygiene bags that we do. These items can make a significant difference in students' ability to feel confident and comfortable in their daily lives at school. This initiative aims to remove barriers that may affect students' well-being, self-esteem, and ability to focus on their education, which can help foster a more supportive and equitable learning environment. And I will leave that there. The total is $11,610.50. Exactly. That's it for me. Does anyone have questions?
Any additional questions? So, for those that are new to the board, in the fiscal year 25 budget, we did budget $96,000 of settlement money for this fiscal year, which was the equivalent to 3 years. Is that right? So the money's been accumulating and not been used, and this is a way to deploy that money and put it to good use, put it in the hands of the folks that are going to be able to use it the best. So.
So if anybody has any questions about the services they provide, it's just for clients that I work with. I can't tell you the work with drug court for Shelby County Community Services, Ross, they're there every week. They have meetings that are out there. They're in the community. They work with the hospital. They're going to use these funds to help directly serve the clients, the people here in Shelby County. That's what these funds are meant for. There's reporting that comes back to the treasurer. And I think that may be something they will discuss and touch briefly about, and how these funds go out to them, because they are going to have to report back to the treasurer, because it will go back to the federal, on the federal level. But I just can't say enough about the great things that work as our department, not just our department, but what I see them doing in the community is wonderful. That's all.
All right, so to pick that up, that was presentations for both items 12 and 13, and since we opened up with 13, which was discussion vote to approve the request for opioid settlement funds for Shelby County Community Services to the tune of $15,561. Any other further discussion on this? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Bain,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Hardy,
Yes.
McCormick,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Mayhaw,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Morse,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Seifert,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Wofford,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Back up to item 12, request for opioid settlement funds, discussion and vote to approve a request for funds for $11,610.50 for Moultrie Shelby ROSC. Have a motion on this. Moved by Mr. Ross, second. Mr. Morse, any discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Bain,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Hardy,
Yes.
McCormick,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Mayhaw,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Morse,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Seifert,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Wofford,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item 14, which was sent, I believe, to the board as a read-ahead, very large file, zip file, which had all of the numbers in there. And so I'm going to go through with the motion to include all of the items, and vote as a lot. So item 14 is Mr. Michael Tappendorf, the County Highway Engineer. Discuss and vote on approval of the following. 1, aggregate bids and awards, which the bid sheet was included. 1A, County Highway Department aggregate bid award to low bidder. 1B, Township aggregate bid award to low bidder for individual townships. 2, bid minimus, am I saying that right?
By 2 minutes.
Thank you. Oil bids awards, see the bid sheet. The County Highway Department award bidder to low bidder. 2B, Township bid award to low bidder. Item 3, County Township hauling bid award for individual townships, which was also included in the bid sheets. 4, award for culvert bid for highway department in conjunction with the townships. Item 5, award Pug Mill bid for highway department to low bidder. 6, 50/50 petition from Ash Grove Township Highway Commissioner to remove an existing 72-inch CMP and replace with two 72-inch CMPs. Estimated cost is $23,573. Item 7, engineering agreement with Chastain Associates LLC for design services for SN 087-3279 on TR 285, which is 800 north, 3 miles north of Okanee, for a cost of $55,000, with 100% of the cost to be paid by state township bridge program. 7A is construction contracts to be presented at a later date. 8, engineering agreement with Chastain Associates LLC for design services for SN 087-3053 on TR6, 100 east, which is 3 miles north of Okanee, for a cost of $55,500, with 100% of the cost expected to be paid by state township bridge program. 8A, construction contracts to be presented at a later date. Have a motion. Ms. Bain, a second. Mr. Yantis. It's all you, sir. You want to explain some of those?
Absolutely. So group 1 through 5 is our award for our bid lettings. I've been having bid lettings for the last 2 months, and it's for the aggregate and oil. It's all just basically our oil and chip program for the most part. It is our maintenance of our township and our county highway roads throughout the county. So this is our aggregate, our oil and chip services provided for that, and culverts, Pug Mill, which is a blade mix that we use for smoothing out the roads prior to oil and chipping. So that is group 1 through 5, and those are all just being awarded to the low bidder that submitted the bid that day. So, group 6 is a petition for Ash Grove Township. They're just wanting to remove an existing pipe and replace it. The existing pipe is failing. It's just an old CMP pipe that's rusting out in the bottom. It's still safe currently, but we need to get to it before it becomes unsafe. Group 7 and 8 is an engineering agreement for 2 bridges very close to one another in Okanee Township. With that, I'd entertain any questions you have in regards to these.
Any questions for Mr. Papador? Okay. Let's see. Roll call vote.
Bain? Yes. Cole? Yes. Edwards?
Yes.
Grant?
Yes.
Gregg?
Yes.
Hardy?
Yes.
McCormick?
Yes.
Matlock?
Yes.
Ahol?
Yes.
Miller? Yes. Morse?
Yes.
Price?
Yes.
Pritchard?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Seifert?
Yes.
Tate?
Yes.
Wofford?
Yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Yanis?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item 15, discussion and vote to approve the resolution establishing the Shelby County Rescue Squad. I have a motion, Mr. Ross, a second. Mr. Price?
Thank you. This was sent out in your read-ahead material, the draft resolution. I just want to say a lot of effort has gone into this from various people on board, in the community, and at the state level as well. The resolution mirrors that of the DITE resolution, so we're trying to keep that uniform. And this will place the rescue squad in good standing under the Public Safety Committee oversight, and I think it's a great deal. So, anybody have any questions, I would be happy to try and answer them. I will say that for the purposes of ensuring that this resolution is compatible with laws as we understand them, it has ran past the State's Attorney's Office and has been given a thumbs up. So,
Any questions, discussion? Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Move on to item 16, discussion and vote to approve the request from county clerk to outsource county payroll functions. no later than January 31st, January 31st, 2025. I have a motion. Mr. Morris, second. Mr. Gregg. Discussion? Questions? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Is there a resolution attached, a resolution necessary? I know previously we had a resolution to outsource it, and we turned that resolution over, so, I mean, this just appears that now the responsibility is the clerk's, when before we assumed it was the treasurer's. I'm just curious about it. If you got any more information.
Sure, yeah, no, the best I can answer at this point is we've all are in receipt of the email from, I believe, last Monday. This states that the treasurer's office will no longer process payroll effective January 31st of this year. So by default, the statute does state that the responsibility does fall in the clerk's office, despite that's not been the case here in the county for some time. As many as 30 years ago or before what I've been told. So it was not in the recent past delegated by this board or any previous board that I can track information on. Nonetheless, with that going back to the clerk's office and with her, not only the lack of resources to do so, she has requested that we, at least for now, find an outsourced opportunity for payroll.
So this agenda item is just essentially an agreement without a resolution, as a resolution appears to not be necessary?
So my understanding is that it's just her request. So she's requested us to process this, so it's not a contract, right? She just has asked us to agree to seek that.
So this agenda item acknowledges her request, and the board is then taking those steps to do what we can to outsource payroll.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Has this been budgeted for payroll or anything?
It was not budgeted for, no. So then when we look to, how to pay for that, we have a portion of the 029 account, which is items not budgeted for, is where we'll be looking to pay for that.
So will this increase our 1.5 that we're already in, the whole?
Certainly. I mean, yeah, it was an unexpected expense. Other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have a question. I understand that you don't have your resources, manpower to do this. Is it possible to get you the resources and a person to do this that would be more cost efficient versus outsourcing it?
I'm already short one person.
Okay.
I lost a very valuable employee about a year and a half ago, and we've kind of split the work between the three remaining office staff I have. We are a very busy office, so I'm short one.
Okay.
And I think that it would probably take yet another person to focus on payroll. Prior to the consolidated election, the 2 weeks leading up to that, we were probably voting at least 100 people a day. I don't know how we would have managed to process payroll. We've had some conversations with the company. I don't know if you look at hiring 2 employees, benefits, et cetera, if it's going to be equally cost efficient to outsource this to people who are true payroll professionals and that's a payroll
Yes.
law. So
I just didn't know, if it was a great, huge difference, you know what I mean?
Right.
To add, someone else to your department.
We don't have, prices yet for what it may cost to outsource.
It was just something I was curious about.
Because it's not only payroll, it's filing your 941s, your 501s, your W-2s.
Right.
So it's all the reports that go along. It's not just.
Yes, and I understand that, but if we could get you the people and the resources, is it gonna be a $5,000 difference or a $50,000 difference? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right now, I don't know.
Yeah, and I'll discuss a little bit more of that when we get to the next
Okay.
item for that. Any other, could you stop something?
My question is, since the county employees are union, what effect is that going to have? Because it states clearly in the union contracts, you cannot outsource then lay off. You You cannot terminate an employee or lay off or reduction in staff, I guess is how it's stated. If the treasurer's office has the manpower it has currently and it is scheduled to do payroll, then why are we keeping the same amount of staff there is a question that I have.
Agreed.
But I also understand the contract says you can't outsource and lay off. So is there the possibility of moving someone from the treasurer's office to the clerk's office to help do payroll?
So they're all great questions, and the answer is I don't know yet, because this is also new.
And is this why we're just gonna kind of do this for now,
Yes, ma'am.
till we can figure this out?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we've got to find a patch
I think that's
to get us through
okay.
at this point, which gets us through further discussion, further research on what additional options exist in the future, and that also includes, we're due to begin, negotiations on union contracts, finally starting next week. So, we're at a point to where, those discussions take place and shape that up and figure out what the longer term solutions are.
And I didn't mean anything by that, Tad. I just wanted that dialogue to be out there for people to understand that.
Sure. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Like I say, you and I have talked a lot the past couple of days on this as well. And I'll be the first to admit there's still a lot that I don't know.
And I actually am the one that, since it was brought, in 2021, the board had discussed outsourcing payroll. And I guess if the research at that time would have been brought up to me that it was actually statutorily supposed to be in the clerk's office and I could request it to be outsourced, since that board was looking at it, I probably would have made the request then. But more than anything, since researching back, I couldn't find how this change took place. I wanted it in the county board record that the board had actually voted on my request to find an alternate means for payroll.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's important to point out that our priority is employees first. Whatever drama we have going on is not their drama. But we need an assurance from the treasurer's office that the end of the year financials will be done, W-2s will be sent out, all the stuff that she has to take care of will be done, and not leave a new person in limbo, or us in limbo trying to coordinate that. That would be a nightmare. Employees come first. So whatever we have to do to make that happen, we all need to coordinate that.
Yeah, thank you, Megan. No, you're absolutely right. In my discussions with, I know several people in this room and on this board that I've had this week is that is the sense of urgency. Our employees are first, and we need to make sure that they're taken care of and that they get the paychecks they earned. Yes, ma'am.
Chad mentioned everybody is union, but not everybody is union. Not all employees are union.
So one for office that is one.
Any other questions or discussion? Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Move on to item 17, discussion and vote to approve to contract ADP to perform county payroll services. I have a motion on this one. Ms. Cole, second. Okay, so to kind of get to what you were asking about a little bit at this point. So discussions were opened up with ADP on how to proceed. I give them credit for everything that they've done up to this point. They've been very quick to respond. I know that they've had conversations with the clerk. I believe they've called the sheriff as well. And they've been encouraged, if they haven't already, to speak to the public health department, just due to the fact that some of the most unique needs that we have lie within the sheriff's department as well as the health department. And so working to find solutions that work across the board for all of our employees, whatever unique needs some of our departments might have, and they are working with those department heads and the employees to figure out what it is exactly that we need to implement to best serve our employees for the accurate timekeeping and then payroll services. And I mean, do you want to touch on your call with them today? Because you seem pretty excited.
Yeah, like I said, these people are professionals. This is what they do. They're well up to date. They're well versed in payroll law and rules. And the sheriff and I had a good conversation with them. Basically, we will have a team assigned to us. We still have things that we have to do. And then they send us back the payroll to be reviewed and approved by us before they issue any checks. So it's not like, they just take it and we never know what's going on. It will come back to us. So we're going to have another call with them next week. But I was impressed with what they could do for us, and so.
And were they confident that they could get everything transitioned over?
Yes.
To meet those
Yes.
deadlines?
We did I sent the collective bargaining agreements for both. I sent some MOUs. I tried to send everything that, we do right now from a payroll perspective. So they know our financial company. They, it just really sounds like it's going to be pretty seamless.
And I'm assuming like each employee has their own portal they can log into to download their paycheck or copy of it.
I believe so, yeah. I believe that it would be an email thing, pretty much like it is now in a roundabout way. But like I said, we're going to have another call with them next week and kind of look at an overview of the program. They know what we have. Hopefully their system will work with the Time Clock Plus. If not, then that might be something we have to look at. But I don't know, Sheriff, did you get a good feel for things today?
I echo your comments, so it sounded like nothing we told them scared them, so.
Right. So, and they do work with several county entities, so they're, pretty familiar with county government and stuff, so.
We've had it at SSI for a while.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
To touch on what Chris has said, my employer uses ADP, and there's an app you download. You put in your code, your email address, your code, whatever, and you have access to all your payroll information, your time card, all that stuff. I think you can even print your W-2s off of it.
Yes, sir.
It says approve a contract. Do we have a contract yet, or what?
No, I want to get the discussion out of the way, and we'll get to that. No, I do want to get it opened up and have discussion, but the quick answer to that is no. So, any other questions on this topic? All right, well, with that, then I'll make a motion to table this until we actually can get more information. Got a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, moving on to item 18, committee reports. Are there any reports to be made? Oh, yes.
The High Road and Bridge Committee didn't meet this week because of the weather, but we did get the bills from them and got them processed on Tuesday night when we did finance. So,
Appreciate making the adjustments, and I'll come back around with you guys again, but I know you guys worked your tails off this past weekend, so thank you. Anything else? All right, move on to chairman updates. I suppose I can do this in a couple different places, but we did have an introductory call today with a lot of department heads and members of the Legislative Budget Audit Committee with Signature. We'll be doing our pre-audit work here in the near future. They gave us a good overview of the process, when they anticipate getting started. They asked us a lot of questions. Some questions we had answers to, some we did not. But they've already started working on getting some of the required documentation that we need for that. So I don't know if anybody has anything they want to add to that was on the call today, but I thought they did a very good job of laying that out, and the level of efficiency was greatly appreciated. So, anybody else have anything to add to that? Okay. All right, so moving on then to chairman appointments. I did have a question about what WCDC is. That's the West Central Development Council. which they're responsible for a lot of grants, education opportunities, employment opportunities. I think I mentioned yesterday, Mr. Yantis, that we have some local graduates from last year that received those, that are actually working through union electrician, being educated through those grants to become electricians. So, our presence there is very important to make sure that we receive a lot of these fundings as well as for job placement and everything else. But I did.
Tad,
Yes, ma'am.
there are governmental programs and stuff. My one grandson that just graduated this last year, he went to Georgia to lineman school down there for about 8 weeks, and they paid for that.
Awesome.
Yes, they've got really good programs. They assist on the nursing programs over at Lakeland. They're expanding their programs to possibly encompass the last 2 years of people who are going for teaching degrees and stuff. So it's a really good program.
Yeah, it sounds absolutely amazing.
So with that, I'm just going to go through these, and then we can, if anybody wants to discuss any of these individually, once we get through that, just let me know. But the appointments are Jeff Gray is the Surma representative for Shelby County. I have to make an amendment. It is not Christine Matlock to CFS, correct?
Unless she's saying please and thank you.
No, ma'am, I don't think it's anything to do anything, but that was not the case. But you did have a name for that. Was that right?
Not for that one, it was the housing.
Okay. And so we will bypass the CFS at this time. Chrissy Grant to the WCDC, Tricia Miller to Finance to replace Mr. Tate, Jordan Kamek to Shelby County Rescue Squad Chief, and then Housing Authority was
Chris Kramer himself.
Chris Kramer.
Did you say you're removing me from finance?
Yes, sir. Our board rules say 7, and I have a request to make an adjustment. Okay, so do I have can I get a motion for the appointments with the change to, with the name of Chris Kramer to be added to the Housing Authority? A second. Ms. Matlock. Any discussion on any of these?
You going to vote on these separately?
If there's any that you'd like to pull out separately. So if we have a motion for all of them, is there any of them that you would like to discuss separately?
Kamek.
Okay. So with that being the case, then let's go back to make the motion. We'll just do them individually. Motion for Jeff Gray, Surma representative for Shelby County. Motion. Ms. Miller, second Ms. Cole. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Move on to Chrissy Grant for the WCDC. Can I have a motion for that? Ms. Matlock, I have a second. Mr. Price, any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. That passes. Move on to Ms. Miller, Tricia Miller to Finance. I have a motion, Ms. Miller, Ms. Bain, a second from Ms. Matlock. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. On to Jordan Kamek for the Shelby County Rescue Squad Chief. I have a motion for that. Mr. Ross, I have a second.
Second.
Mr. Yantis, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
All right, any discussion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Okay.
Okay. And then moving on to the last one for the Housing Authority for Chris Kramer. A motion for Ms. Kramer. Ms. Matlock in a second. Ms. Bain, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you for that. All right, we've got a couple of pieces of correspondence here. One is from the United Counties Council of Illinois for the 2024 dues refund and 2025 dues statement. It's dated December 12th of 2024, UCCI member county, as a UCCI membership meeting held on November 18, 2024. Membership was advised that the executive committee approved a refund for all member counties of the 2024 membership dues paid. UCCI is pleased to provide the enclosed 2024 dues refund check to your county. Thank you for participation in 2024 meetings, trainings, and conferences. We trust that your involvement in UCCI programs and activities has proven to be a valued resource. Please find enclosed the 2025 dues statement, and this is payable by January 1st, 2025. UCCI looks forward to sharing a robust 2025 with you and your county representatives. Signed, Ryan McCreary, UCCI Executive Director, and included was a refund check for $1,500. I do have one more piece of correspondence that I would just make sure that it hits all of your email boxes, but it was important just to point out that Mr. McKee went to a lot of effort to create a fiscal year 2024 year-end brief for me from for EMA. He did point out a lot of the projects that we're taking care of this year, to include not only on the zoning side, but also for emergency management. He indicates his passion for the program and that he is looking to increase several of our services and continually improve the emergency management services that we have here in the county. So I will make sure that everybody gets a copy of this, because if I was to read it all, it might be here a little bit. But I do want to thank Mr. McKee for putting this together. He's also been very instrumental in his communication with me over the last several weeks, and specifically this last week. So I appreciate that, as well as the coordination that we had this past weekend, right, with the severe weather event, and the coordination with myself, the sheriff, Mr. Tappendorf, and so there was a lot of effort put in. The deputies, the highway department, dispatchers, Mr. McKee again, very valiant effort to make sure that all of the social media platforms were synced up and sharing each other's information, to get timely information out there about our road conditions and safety. So thank you for all of that. Move on to any old business. Yes, sir?
I don't know if this is old business or not, but I don't see anything on here for new business. But aren't we supposed to be getting a monthly report from the treasurer about the revenues, expenses, and balances?
Yes.
Why aren't we?
I would encourage you to direct the question to the treasurer on that.
I will do that.
Thank you. Any other old business? I guess I'll cover the audit, and again, recent discussion with previous auditor, fiscal year 22, reporting to the auditor, as well as the treasurer, still not complete, still waiting for the annual financial report to be filed with the comptroller. So,
I want to go back to the UCCI check. I believe we got a refund last year also. And have we paid our dues this year? Okay, and it's $1,500. I don't know if board members know that there is a meeting January 27th in Springfield. It's a UCCI meeting. If at least one board member shows up every quarter, UCCI then refunds the county $400. So they not only, we've gotten our money back from last year. I don't know how many, probably 3 times. We probably got $1,200. Then we get the $1,500 check back. That's not a reason to go, but just that you know that if somebody goes, it's just one person, not the whole board.
I think several of them.
Yes, several of us are going on January 27th, and it's more of an informational meeting too. It's about FOIAs and OMAs and that kind of stuff, and they feed you. So I encourage you to take a trip to Springfield to the meeting.
thank you.
And it's very beneficial for new members because you get a smattering of Robert's rules and, kind of the FOIA rules and all this, and the Open Meetings Act, all the fun stuff you didn't want to know.
All right, we'll move on to the payment of claims.
gonna have to amend the claims that were approved in finance on Tuesday because Shelby County Circuit Clerk submitted his claims today to Jessica. They have been initialed and approved by 2 members of the Finance Committee, and the total for those claims is $3,982.99. So when we approve claims, I don't know if we do this, amend it now for the total, and then vote on adding these to those that we're gonna vote on next.
You want to make your amendment? You can make your amendment if that's the only one you have.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
She did. So, make an amendment there for $982.99.
$3,982.99.
Okay, and a second. All right, all those in favor to the amendment, or motion to amend, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Aye. And then passes, back to the original claims, anything to add?
No, just make a motion to approve the claims that the Finance Department approved on Tuesday night.
Yeah, we did that, we got those there, additional on that, so any additional input from finance on that? Okay. So now, roll call vote, please.
Bain,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Edwards,
No.
Grant,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Hardy,
Yes.
McCormick,
Yes.
Matlock,
Yes.
Nahal,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Morse,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Pritchard,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Seifert,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Wofford,
Yes.
Wallace, Wood,
Yes.
Yanis.
Yes.
Motion passes, 19 ayes, 1 nay, Edwards.
Okay. Thank you. All right, I'll move on to item 24, public body comment. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In reference to the rescue squad resolution, pardon my tongue tidiness, I'd be remiss if I didn't at least name a few names that were very, very key in getting that done. Many people don't realize, but when we started that journey, there was not an actual law that would even allow Shelby County to do it. And thankfully, with the help of Senator Steve McClure in the Senate, he was able to draft up a law for us. I'm thankful to Republican Tony McCumbee for sponsoring it in the House. Local Representative Halbrook co-sponsored it as well. Locally, Mr. Mayhall did some heavy lifting for us. Mr. Kamick, Mr. McKee made many trips to Springfield on this issue. And then Ms. Murray from the Illinois Association of County Board Members did a lot of work. So a great deal of effort went into ensuring that Shelby County can continue to have the Shelby County Rescue Squad, and I'm thankful for each and every one. And if I missed you and you did something, I certainly apologize. I thank everybody for getting that passed and allowing Shelby County to move forward. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, no, thank you, and I suppose it would be a little difficult to patch stuff on the back here if you didn't choose to, but you also put in a fair amount of effort to that, so thank you for everything that you put into that.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, public body comment? Yes, ma'am.
In the claims that we just paid, I believe those claims included the property taxes on the farm. I'm just wondering, several months ago, we tabled that pending legal opinion. Did we ever get that legal opinion? And maybe I just missed the email because I'm very good about missing emails.
I don't think that, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that an official legal opinion was sent to the board.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss it. That's fine.
There were other discussions that were had with committee members, that's why they were included.
Sure. So that's it.
Thank you.
I have a comment to her comment and stuff. That was in a folder, and it wasn't given to just 2 people in that group to initial.
Oh, I totally understand
I made
that.
sure
I just-
everybody in that room knew what it was being paid and stuff. So I don't want anybody to think that I was trying to sneak anything through, because I wasn't. I was transparent and upfront.
I'm part of that committee. I had to work. I missed the committee meeting. That wasn't my implication at all. I was just clarifying that I didn't miss, because I specifically asked for the legal opinion. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss it.
Public body comment? Public body comment?
Can I make a request to the board members who are going to attend the meeting on January 27th? Could you please ask other board members that attend the meeting and the officials who are running it what their thoughts are on verbal FOIAs? Maybe just to see how other counties deal with them and if they require documentation or not. Thank you.
Public body comment? Is there?
Yeah, on item number 5, you had mentioned that that individual wasn't available tonight. Is that the same James Mitchell that's a convicted drug felon? That's a question that I have. I don't know if you've looked into that or not, if that's the same person. In regards to the property tax bill, you said it was tabled. Was there a vote to untable it? And I think the only other thing I had, I appreciate you saying that I could communicate with Mr. Kraft to come back in, but Mr. Mayhall, you don't have unilateral authority to override a board's vote. That's all I got. Thank you.
Public body comment?
Yes, I was listening to the discussion and, on the corner, and I just want to say, when we're making decisions and people are approaching us, if somebody is threatening board members with lawsuits if you don't do something, I think we need to report that right away to the state's attorney. If there are people that are saying you have to do this or you can face a lawsuit, I think we need to get that to the state's attorney right away, because that's threatening our county and our taxpayers. And I think the first thing that needs to happen, and this is just my opinion, is that we need to contact legal counsel. Thank you.
I agree.
Public body comment? Yes, sir.
Couple takeaways from me tonight. One, on the Illinois funds, what she said that really struck me was that all the money that we have is available to be invested in there. She was very plain and simple about that. That any monies that we have are available to be invested, and that the fund 50 years hasn't lost a buck, and they are AAA rated. So the best of the best. So that was a nice presentation. The second thing I would like to piggyback on what Matlock said earlier. It's important that we, in this time clock situation, this payroll situation, that the county employees have been in the middle of firestorms and dysfunction in this room for a long time, and I really want to see that we don't put them in harm's way. And I think you've done a good job, a really good job, in a lot of regards. But this is one here that's been a bone of contention, and I think anything we can do up front it's not their fault, and our county employees, the payroll, and I think we just need to take care of them.
Thank you. Public body comment?
That's a good point. I like that you said that. And I don't have anything against our new quarter. I think she's probably a very nice lady. When you have somebody that's worked in the area for all these years, I mean, if there's a problem with him, what's the problem? He's been an employee. Hasn't he investigated two deaths since our past coroner's gone in this county? 2 to 3 he's investigated. So what's the problem? Is he not pretty enough? I mean, what's wrong with him? If he's good enough to use year after year after year, and all at once, now he's not worth a crap. Now, why is that? You guys talk about the employees. This is bullshit. Yeah, well, that's what it is.
Public body comment?
I just want to commend find them. You've taken into a role that had a lot of things flying out there, and you've done a fantastic job. I know a lot of you board members have helped out and supported them in that role. I think you all have done a fine job. And I wanted to say, I think Tricia Miller will be a great addition to that team. A couple of years ago, I probably wouldn't know her from anybody else, but I got to know her pretty well, and she's got a lot of integrity, and she brings a lot of good things and good values, and I think that'll serve Shelby County well.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Julie, I just want to apologize directly to you. Unfortunately, I've slept since then, and when this was tabled and discussed, it's been a while. And I am one person running a two-man show. So I want the board members, all of you, to be able to come to me, request those opinions. So I apologize for not getting that formally.
No, and I think I only followed up on it one time and kind of let it go, so it's not I just wanted to make sure for this purpose that I didn't miss something.
Thank you. Public body comment. Public body comment. Public body comment. All right. Well, again, thank you to, again, this past week was a little challenging, with weather. And again, I can't thank the sheriff and Mr. Tappendorf and Mr. McKee enough for everything that they put into this week in the open communication to make sure that we kept our folks safe and, taking the step to close the courthouse, to not take a risk. Again, I want to thank everybody that's here that did help me kind of get through some of these processes and providing me recommendations for board seats and other vacancies. In absence of receiving information from parties to make recommendations. We have a job to do. And we have this county to take care of, and we got to get those vacancies filled. So, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So move here. Ms. Matlock, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, thanks everybody. Have a good night.